What was the deciding factor in crossing the floor? And if you could also indulge, how many other Conservatives in your caucus feel the same way that you do?
Well, let's start with the story of how I got here. I would think over the last number of months, I wasn't feeling that I was aligned with the ideals of what the leader of the opposition had been talking about. So I've been sort of re-looking at what my career is bringing and what I can do for my constituency. So over the last little bit, talking to many of my friends in the Liberal Party, as Deputy Speaker, I got to know a lot of those members personally, ask questions, see what's going on, and understanding the point that we are in Canadian history, where it's time to actually try to lead a country, to try to make it better, and not try to knock it down, not to continue to be negative. In my case, as a Nova Scotian, we're always trying to find ways to work together to solve the issues that are important to our communities. And I didn't see it by sitting in the opposition. I saw it by being a part of the government caucus.
Sorry, and just in terms of how many other Conservatives feel the same way that you do that are currently sitting in caucus?
Yeah, I would suggest that there probably are those that are in the same boat, but I will let them tell their stories if that time comes.
Hi, Mr. Nashima. Nick Murray from Canadian Press. I know you just spoke of Mr. Poilievre and the direction he was going, but I'm just wondering whether the Conservative leadership style perhaps pushed you out of caucus.
Well, I think that's probably a part of it. I didn't find I was represented there. That my ideals of an Easterner, of a red Tory, I mean, quite honestly, of trying to find ways to find solutions and help your community rather than trying to oppose everything that's happening. And I think that's the opportunity that's being offered by Prime Minister Carney and the government caucus is to help find solutions at this critical time for Canada.
I'm also wondering if you can maybe contextualize the decision to leave with regards to what happened with your push and your bid to become the Speaker. Some MPs have told me that you looked dejected the day that you had to remove your name from the floor, and of course another one of the Conservative colleagues ended up being Deputy Speaker. I'm just wondering if you could speak a little bit to that, about how that impacted this decision.
I mean, I think it was an awkward time. I was hopeful, as many people would be hopeful, but I did move on. The summer came and we had a great summer of traveling around. It wasn't really in my mind. It's just looking at leadership styles and whether we're doing the right thing for Canada or we're doing the right thing for ourselves. I would rather be on the side of Canadians.
And just really quickly, I'm just wondering, did you think that there was a real risk the budget could fall with this government, and do you think that risk still exists?
I think the risk always exists. I mean, you still have to have your account correct. You need to make sure people show up for the vote and those kinds of things. But I think it's important that we make that more sure. I mean, this is a budget for a generation. This has got some good stuff in it for communities like mine, and I want to see it pass.
Hey, Mr. Lantermont, just Marco Vigliotti from My Politics. Just a quick question: was there anything tangible, offered towards you by the Liberals, a promise of perhaps a position in cabinet down the line, anything along those lines to get you to cross the aisle?
No, really, it had to do with my riding itself. Acadie, Annapolis is a big rural riding with lots of fishery and lots of agriculture and a military base. I want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing for them, to make sure that they have the housing and the infrastructures that they need, and I felt this budget was one that was going to provide that.
Last question, Jillian.
Some of your former colleagues have already been reacting to this news. They've called you a coward, disingenuous, and disloyal. What's your message to your former colleagues?
Well, I think they should look at themselves and see if they're offering the right thing to Canadians, of trying to build for the world. I mean, we have a great opportunity here in Canada, and rather than knocking people down, we should try to find ways to work together, and that's what I've always tried to do in my career.